Hey everybody, this is Steve from OpenBOM, and in today's video we are going to demonstrate the OpenBOM purchase planning process. We're going to use Onshape here to go from a CAD design, to print and purchase orders for these parts in just a matter of minutes. So we're going to go through the whole process. This video might be a little longer than normal, but I do want to dive into the details. But I'm starting with Onshape. This is a real Onshape model. It has a real assembly, a real part studio with just the atomic parts modeled. Like I said, it's a real assembly with real mates, and it has a real subassembly, and finally it has a real drawing. So it's time to build this clamp. Well, let's start with OpenBOM. We are going to add an OpenBOM application. We are going to create a custom bill of materials of the cantilever clamp. We're going to quickly visit the BOM properties to make sure that we are including only those properties that we want. So in this case, I've chosen the particular properties that I want to include, and I'm going to create a bill of materials. This will create a parts list for my clamp assembly and put it in a tab in my Onshape model. So each item will get its metadata and information from Onshape. Okay. Something I want to demonstrate here, I want to go back and show, is that in our assembly we have defined part numbers and descriptions for all the parts. So each one has its own part number over here, its own description. So this is right in the Onshape interface, and OpenBOM has picked that up. Here is that same metadata with those part numbers, with those names, and of course, more importantly, with those quantities. You can see we've got 2 of these side plates, 2 of this side plate, at least 4 of these pivots, 2 of these other size pivots, and the blocks and the handle. So this is the BOM for the product structure of the model. Okay, so let's get started. We find ourselves in OpenBOM, and one of the first things that we're going to do is create a property here for cost. So I'm going to go ahead and add cost. This could be done in a number of different ways, but I'm going to do it right here. And assuming that we may know the cost for each one of these items, I'm going to go ahead and put in some values. And I'm not going to bore you all with doing all of these. So we will just use some of the Excel functionality and pull this down. We'll make a few of these a little bit different. And finally, that cross handles there. So we've defined our cost. Okay, the next thing that we might want to do here is define our extended cost, which is something that's quite often used in planning. Let's go ahead and probably have something called calculated cost. Okay. We're going to add that to our column and define it simply to be, we're going to use more Excel-like formula to be quantity times cost. Very simple. Okay, boom, and we can see that OpenBOM has calculated the extended cost for, I like to have mine centered, the extended cost for each one of those parts, 4 times this one, etc. All right, so we have we've got a bill of material with some costing information. We just get an order from a local shop for 12 of our clamps. So next thing we do, we're going to create an order BOM. An order BOM is a bill of materials scaled to the size of our order. And this is going to be from Steve's order of 12. OpenBOM creates an order BOM we'll look at quickly, and the first thing we'll notice is that all the values, quantities, especially have been scaled up by 12. So that will tell us here's our quantity required. If we've been doing inventory management, which I'll cover in the next video, we would OpenBOM would calculate for us if we had any shortages. Right now it's showing a full shortage because I'm not doing inventory management with this, but we could be managing inventory here. So with our OpenBOM, really the only step we need to do is assign a vendor. Now I've defined a vendor list, and it will be very familiar to most of you, but we're going to assign a vendor list, and we'll go into more detail on that in another video. And well, I'm just going to go through and pick out the vendors for some of these things. Looks like these are going to probably come from my machine shop. That's my stamping vendor. These are also my machine shop. And likewise here. Likewise here. And these are going to come from Spacely Sprockets. Okay. So I've completed my order bomb. Put the information in for my vendor. I'm going to create purchase orders. Click the button. I get a message that purchase orders were created. I go to the purchase order area of my dashboard. And I see that a number of new purchase orders have been created for me. What's really interesting here is that now for my order bomb, a purchase order for each vendor has been created. So let's take a look at A1 stamping. Okay, we recognize these as the two stamped items. Looks like we need 24 of each. I can make a few changes here. Maybe I have a couple of these on hand, and I can make some adjustments here. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to create a purchase order for A1 stamping. I'm going to run it in a PDF, and here we go. Name of my company is Clampall. I make various types of clamps. I have a vendor called A1 Stamping that pops out these two parts for me. I take this PO, I send it to them. I'm done. So that, folks, is the purchase planning process end to end. We started with our Onshape model. We created a bill of material. We created an order bomb. We created a purchase order, and finally, we printed that out in a PDF. So this is new functionality. We'd love to hear your feedback at support.openbom.com, and look for some other videos. We'll dive into vendors and catalogs more deeply. Thanks.